Congratulations again, Coach. Get right into the defense here. We saw Phoenix attempt 15 shots with 10 inside the box. Another clean sheet. What is it about this group that does so well with just disrupting the opponents?
Well, we're only 2 games in, so yeah, I think they did have quite a few shots, and specifically right after halftime. But I honestly, I thought we defended very well, and we knew that with how open they are in transition, that you give a little bit of that, but we knew we'd be able to counterattack pretty much every time we won it. So I felt it was a trade-off we were willing to take, and we had definitely the more dangerous chances.
Koke looks like he's in mid-season form right now. Can you talk about just maybe having his second year of USL Championship?
Yeah, I mean, we knew he would have a much better season coming over from a totally different culture. Is hard, and he's never really been a full-time starter before, so just getting week in, week out of games and games and games. He's been really clean, no mistakes, and we also ask him to do a ton in build-out. So I ask a lot of Koke, and like you say, yeah, he looks in mid-season form. He's improved his body, and he's just performing at a high standard right now, and that's definitely a big difference compared to where we were at last year.
Both your strikers scored today. How happy are you with them?
Very happy, especially also Elliott creating two second half goals. So very happy with, first of all, Evan after the high press. We working all week on turning them over high up the field. In the first half, we did not transition well. But then when Charlie won in the middle, on his weaker foot as well. So I'm really proud of him. He works hard on that a lot. You can see what Damas can do. You can see why he's here. And Elliott, you saw he did everything. He defended, and then was amazing on the counterattack. And all those guys up there ran a ton today because we knew we had to attack them without the ball and turn them over. So I asked a lot of them today, and they executed.
In the past, Juan's been able to expose some of San Diego Loyal's space. They didn't seem to have that space today. Was that intentional, or is that just like the guys working a little bit harder than they've maybe done in the past?
I know they've always worked hard. It's not a hard work thing. I think that's a cop out. I think that we know exactly how they're going to attack. I think that they've done pretty well. But when he was at Phoenix, and then even last, we've always performed very well. We haven't always scored all the goals, but I think that we knew exactly what today was going to look like, and the guys solved a lot of problems in the field. And just, it's not really us versus Phoenix. We've just been working on our defending as a team all the time. So it's fundamental, it's consistency. But again, I think for the second game in a row, we defended really well, even though, again, we weren't amazing with the ball.
How big is Collier?
Say again?
How big is Collier? That's a
yeah, he's like 6'3", 6'4". Yeah, and he doesn't play like a big man. He's got really good feet. He grew up playing futsal, so you can see that in kind of how he moves and how his ability to control the ball. I think he's a really underrated forward.
That's what I wanted to ask you. He almost looks like his agility takes guys by surprise when you first get a first look at him.
Yeah, I think people, when you look at Elliott, you make assumptions of what he's like, and he's not just this big bruising guy up front that you lump balls into. He's really good in between the lines. He's got really good feet. I've always really liked him as a player. And the second thing too, you could see his body language, like he works his ass off for the team, and he is like a top teammate, and he's really helped. He's done a lot to increase, I would just say, our overall intensity in our pressing.
In your discussions with
Guido and Stoneman coming back into this lineup, but also another element is Blake Bodley. How important was he in that slot position, and what can you talk about the dynamics of this team where you can switch people in and out?
Yeah, we have 3 top quality wingbacks. A priority for us this year was to have a left-footed wingback with pace, and we've had, I know Blake, so it was a priority to get that. Picking 2 every game is hard. Elijah's a top player for us, and will have an amazing season. But we just wanted guys who, especially in transition, I wanted a left-footed player out there at the end of the day. And so you saw there at the end him making a great play with Elliott, but he is dynamic. And again, he's a player that's so responsible, gets back defensively, and you can count on him in big moments.
In your talks with Ronaldo about how he would fit and what his role would be, what was that like, and how did that all come together? And then you just saw him get that goal today.
Well, Ronaldo knows what type of team we are. He's competed against us, so when he knows what type of football we're going to play. His specific role, with players like that, you bring him in. You don't bring him to change them. You bring them in, and you make sure that you put him exactly where he's going to be most successful. You saw today his commitment to the defensive side, and he has ability to score out of nowhere, and you saw that today. So we're taking it slow with Ronaldo. We're not putting too much information right at first. We brought him off the bench today, 2 quick things of what we wanted to do, and you let a guy like that fly and keep it simple, and he's a tremendous footballer.
One more, guys.
Congratulations on the win. First goal of the season for you in your first start. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot, to be out here in front of all these fans on my first start and to get a goal, it means everything. And especially getting the 3 points, I think that's the most important thing. So I'm grateful to score, but most importantly, I'm glad we won.
Coming back, obviously you had a short stint here, but what is it like coming in and getting that confidence boost already from Coach Nate Miller, who spoke very highly of you over on that left-hand side?
Yeah, it's been great to be back here full-time now. I mean, all the guys have been super welcoming. The staff has been super welcoming. Before I was even here, Nate sent me a text. He's like, hey, we'd love to have you. We know you'd be great here. So it's been really good to be back. I couldn't be happier.
You got that goal, but how important was your game in keeping that clean sheet?
To me, that was more important than the goal. Going in at half 1-0, not having our best first half, we just said at halftime we got to keep the clean sheet. So, yeah, we scored 2 more goals, but keeping the clean sheet was ultimately the best thing for us.
As hard as you're defending in front of him, how good is it to have, or how comforting is God to have like Koke back there when he's jumping around making the saves he's making?
Yeah, it's amazing. Just having him behind us just gives us so much confidence. Even with the ball, when he has the ball at his feet, we're even more confident. So him making those saves is ultimately what gets us the clean sheet. So having him back there is huge for us.
Walk us through the goal. When did you realize you're going to get a touch and a decently clean shot?
Yeah, so once Elliot picked the ball up and started driving with the ball, I just thought, well, I might as well run forward and see what happens. So he played me a perfect ball into space, and as soon as I took the touch, I was like, well, I'm going to shoot it, and fortunately it went in.
Good things happen when you put the ball on net sometimes.
Right? Exactly. Just get it on target and see what happens.
How much is that conditioning? That was 90th minute, and you were out there the whole time, and
Yeah.
you still looked like you still could run some more.
Yeah, I was pretty gassed by the end, but at the end of the day, those type of runs are what stops goals and what makes goals at the end of the game. So I think just being able to make extra runs and give that extra effort is really good for us.
In Damu or Damus, I'm supposed to Damus.
Yeah, Damus.
He came on. His burst was startling. I know he was fresh,
Yeah,
but you could
yeah.
see it right away. Is that
Yeah,
kind of
even in the first few days of training, you could see he just had a little extra burst and a little extra fight in him. And I think moving forward, that's going to be huge for us.
With being back here now, what's different about this club this year that you can notice? What can you put your finger on?
I think we're just one big family. I mean, just coming here, I fit in perfectly with the guys from day one. They were super welcoming, and off the field, everyone's like a family. So I think that cohesiveness and that coming togetherness is what's going to take us to the next level this year.
Are they still playing Red Hot Chili Peppers in the locker room?
Every once in a while, yeah.
Okay.
It changes up, but every once in a while.
Anybody else?
How,
Got one more question.
How much of a confidence boost is scoring a goal in your first start?
I think it's huge for me. I felt like throughout the game, I gave the ball away cheaply, and I didn't play my best at points during the game, but to score the goal really boosted my confidence. We got Elliot over here playing me the perfect ball, so I'm glad he was in with me.
Good. All right, guys. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Great. You got
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations on the win. 2 straight matches, 2 straight clean sheets. Coach Miller has expressed that defending has been your primary focus so far in training. What does it mean to you and to the team that you're seeing the success pan out so far?
Bueno, como ha dicho el coach Nate Miller, está siendo uno de nuestros principios ahora mismo enfocarnos en lo defensivo tras la temporada pasada, que fue uno de esos puntos débiles para mejorar. Creo que se ha hecho un buen trabajo en pretemporada y el reflejo de ello es que ahora mismo pues llevemos 2 partidos con la portería 0 y creo que aparte de desarrollar un juego bonito como lo hemos hecho siempre, ahora encima pues estamos teniendo una solidez que es clave si queremos hacer algo a lo largo de la temporada al final. Así que para mí pues es evidentemente un gran paso que me ayuda mucho también a nivel individual y al equipo a nivel colectivo.
Ha habido una diferencia.
So early on in the season, there was a point that Coach Miller made that we have to get better on defense, and it's starting to show that we're getting better at defense. On a personal level, I started to get a little more comfortable, better on this, and then we're noticing that the defense is playing a lot better here in the first couple of games. It's early on, but we're trying to get to that point where we want to be real comfortable and solid on the defensive end.
¿Ha habido diferencia de que la defensa, los principales jugadores en la defensa, ya los conoces de la temporada pasada?
Por supuesto, o sea, al final la temporada pasada éramos muchos nuevos, teníamos a Kailanas era nuevo, yo era nuevo, estaba Nico Boxall que era nuevo, jugaba Camden Riley era nuevo. Ahora mismo el que todos nos conozcamos y que todos seamos los mismos en defensa hace que primero nos conozcamos mucho más y que el proceso o la evolución que estamos teniendo pues evidentemente esté mucho más avanzada de lo que estaba hace un año.
The question was that having players that have returned on the team helped you in the back and as a goalkeeper. He answered yes. It's very key that we have most of the same guys back, and then having the same number of guys there is helping us develop as a team and getting better as a goalkeeper. And for me personally, it makes it much more easier to understand what we're trying to do and it's starting to show on the field.
Se habla mucho de qué bien juega Coque con los pies, que es a veces un defensor cuarto o primario a veces en el lado derecho, pero ¿qué te está gustando de tu juego ahorita? Ahorita vimos en este juego 2 paradas espectaculares que no se habla mucho. ¿Qué es lo que te está gustando a ti de tu juego ahorita?
Bueno, al final soy un portero un poco de estilo español, ¿no? Como muchas veces decimos que nos gusta el juego combinativo, aquí se juega un buen fútbol, el año pasado creo que uno de mis puntos fuertes fue el jugar con los pies, el hacer como un central libre muchas veces. Seguimos haciendo eso, es una de las partes favoritas de mi trabajo, la verdad, pero al final pues soy portero también y lo que se exige es cuando lleguen, pues por lo menos las que pueda parar las pares. Y en el caso de hoy así ha sido, entonces evidentemente jugar bonito siempre es bueno, pero hoy pues tengo un grado de satisfacción mayor al irme pues sin encajar gol y habiendo trabajado defensivamente bien.
Question was how different is this season now that you have a different style that this team maybe in this side of the world is not used to? How has it been you've been doing that, playing with your feet? And he answered, it's been a little bit different because I have a different style coming here. You know, I almost play like a central back with my feet coming out, but they've been adapting to it and getting better, and it shows now with his 2 clean sheets, something that I take pride of and trying to keep going. And but I am a goalkeeper, so I have to worry about stopping shots and being able to get back on my line and make sure that we keep the shutouts. Any question?
What's the biggest difference on defense from last year to this year?
Bueno, no creo que haya tantas diferencias porque el sistema sigue siendo muy parecido, los jugadores, como decíamos, siguen siendo los mismos. Creo que lo que hay es un mayor conocimiento los unos con los otros, creo que hay un mayor trabajo detrás de todo esto más enfocado en la línea defensiva y creo que eso es lo que ha marcado un poco la diferencia respecto al año pasado, no un cambio de piezas, un cambio de sistema o un cambio de metodología, simplemente es la evolución del trabajo bien hecho desde hace más de un año.
Yeah, so what's the biggest difference from last year to this year? And Coque answered, it's not much of a difference. It's more of the evolution of the team, you know, moving some pieces here and there and adjusting to those. And not necessarily changing the way we play, changing the system, but more getting adjusted to each other. And we've been better at and been great together as a team since we knew each other well. And then adding those pieces and mix them in what we're trying to do, it's worked out well so far. Good? Anything else? Good?
Gracias.